Cameron. How's it going with the ground crew? Everything's safe here, right?
Hey Mike, yeah, everything is safe. Don't worry about it. I just finished pulling our PV conductors and I'm about to land them in our DC fuse holders.
Awesome. So I can see by the label here, this is an SE33.3KUS. Can you tell me maybe a little bit about the AC side of this inverter?
Yeah, so this inverter operates on a 480 volt grid. SolarEdge does make inverters that operate on 208 or 480.
Great, and now on the DC side, we've got some hardware here.
Yeah, the DC side, here's our fuse holders. We allow for 3 inputs. They're just simple 20 amp fuses.
So I noticed we have more than one inverter. What does an installer have to take into account when installing more than one?
Oh, that's a great question. So SolarEdge requires 4 inches of cooling clearance on either side of the inverter. Since we have 2 inverters side by side here, that cooling clearance does become additive. And basically we have more than 8 inches between these 2 inverters. But if you wanted to, you could mount this inverter horizontally. So if you just picture taking the inverter and rocking it straight back, you can get it at 10 degrees is the minimum tilt. And you can mount that on the roof if you wanted to.
Great, thanks. Well, don't let me hold you up. I'll let you get back to your wiring.
Thanks, Mike. Now it's time to land the AC conductors in the AC terminal blocks. They're labeled line 1, line 2, line 3, neutral. The grounding bar is going to be used for your grounding conductor. To open up the pressure clamp, insert your screwdriver into the port, rotate counterclockwise, land the conductor, pull the screwdriver out, tug test, and you're done. Be sure to check your safe DC voltage before landing your conductors in the inverter. I'm checking my safe DC voltage for polarity and correctness. I'm going to connect the wires from positive to negative into the positive and negative terminal blocks. There is no need for external combiners or fuses because the inverter comes equipped with 3 fused inputs. Close the safety switch cover. Attach the switch cover and secure it by tightening all 4 screws.
The safety switch only disconnects the DC power. The inverter will still have AC power even when the switch is in the off position.
The benefit of this is I can program the inverter with the DC disconnect off, and I can also see that PAC tells me the amount of instantaneous output power that the inverter is operating at. It's 0 right now because the inverter is off.
With every inverter that SolarEdge ships, we provide warranty documentation and the activation card. You'll need the activation card to turn on the inverter, and we'll cover that in the next step. After removing the cover, you'll want to insert the activation card here.
So to start the pairing process, we're going to turn on the AC breaker.
Turn the switch on the DC disconnect to the on position.
We're going to hold the green LCD button for 10 seconds. The screen will tell you to keep holding the button for 3 seconds to initiate the pairing process. It will then indicate to turn the on-off switch to the on position. So go ahead and just flip that switch. The pairing process will take 3 minutes to establish all the connections with optimizers, but can take up to 20 minutes for all optimizers to check in. After the pairing process has been completed, you're now producing power. You can now see that the VDC has gone up to our fixed string voltage of 850 volts. PAC tells me the amount of instantaneous output power that the inverter is operating at. You can see the on-off switch reads in the on position. We still don't have our SOK, so let's work on that now.
In our next video, we'll set up the monitoring for these SolarEdge commercial inverters.